Hi there, this is Uncle Michael. I guess I've reached that status. I said it 20 years ago, I'll say it again. I'm finishing up my cooking. I figured I would bring you into my life again because it's such a depressing time in American history that we have descended to the level of the Soviet Union with the lowest class of scum-sucking lawyer vermin called Democrat. These are failed vermin lawyers who work for the government. They would have been happy working for Uncle Joe Stalin. So we saw the show trial again. They drag out this intern. And the big news is that Trump grabbed the steering wheel of an insubordinate jerk-off who was driving the beast. And let's see, what else did we find out? That he's actually a strong enough leader to have thrown a sandwich against the wall. Is that a crime? Well, then convict me because I've thrown sandwiches against the wall a few times in my life. My father threw a meatloaf against the wall once too. Anyway, before I get ahead of myself, let me turn this around so you can see what I'm making here. Look at this. The Savage 5-Spice Chicken. Is this live? Because if it's live, I need you to do the stuff that shows me it's live on YouTube. Maybe it's not live. 5-Spice Chicken, pasta, some New Zealand wine. And the state of the world is pretty bad. We have a senile, degenerate, criminal, corrupt president with a criminal, corrupt son. And Donald Trump's crime was grabbing the steering wheel of the official limousine because the driver who works for him wouldn't go into the event, the January 6th. And January 6th, as I tweeted earlier, will live in infamy, but not for what occurred on the Capitol steps, but what occurred today on the television sets across the world, run by the lowest scum I've ever seen in my life. I could go down the list. Schiff, a degenerate bum lawyer from Brooklyn, that Benny whatever from wherever he was, mangled the English language. It was sickening. But I don't see any comments coming up, so I may stop this any moment. I just wanted you to see. I should have done it on Twitter Live because I get comments there, which I like, flowing. And look at my 5-Spice Chicken. If this is not perfect, look at this. Is that perfect or what? It's not a secret. I think I've shown you before. Look, see? Mushrooms or shiitake mushrooms, but lots of basil. But it's the spices that are the key. It's no secret what I do. Lots of tarragon. I've told you that before. It's the key to chicken. A little oregano. It's a little stronger and sweeter. Loads. Well, sorry. The spice that I really love when I'm cooking chicken is this one. Turmeric. Oh, yeah. That's the good one. Lots of turmeric. And then, of course, I have not yet added my parsley, which will go in toward the end because it just wilts so quickly. Well, that's about it. Reporting live from the Savage Kitchen. Very good. I don't know what's wrong with the cooking tonight. The water won't boil. I never saw anything like this. Must be global cooling because I can't get my water to really boil. So I had the old trick, put the cover back on, then it overflows. But this chicken is perfect. You see the skin is crispy? Look. I have no idea if this is recording at all. I'm going to have to just chuck it all. It says live, 4:05. But I'm not getting the comments because I'm not on Twitter, I guess. I guess YouTube doesn't have live comments. Each site is a little different. Well, there it is. The Savage 5-Spice Chicken. What I'm going to do is shut the heat off, put the cover on, let it sit in the pot, let my pasta come back to boil. There she goes. So you have to put the cover back on. I don't know what it is. I will tell you this about the Bay, the San Francisco Bay. There's some good news that the scum in the media won't tell you. I feed birds bread. They won't eat it anymore. They're so fat and happy on anchovies. The anchovies are just proliferated like crazy in San Francisco Bay. Do you know why? because the water is cold, even though it's global warming, and we have to be reminded of it even when they tell us it's cold. The, the water temperature is particularly cold, and anchovies thrive in cold water. So the bay abounds with birds, fat and happy birds, who are the my pelicans are my happiest birds. I love them the most. You see flocks and flocks and flocks of pelicans. Not right now. They're all resting home watching television. They're watching the hearings to laugh at the disgusting Democrat vermin who they haven't yet. Here's one lone. What, did he not get dinner? Who's this one? Okay, there he is. One lone pelican didn't have dinner. All the others fly in groups and flocks. It's like me. Hello, that could be Teddy. I keep thinking Teddy became a bird, a happy bird, with a wife and children. I don't know. You know, I play around with things. The water is cold. The anchovies have proliferated. The pelicans are so fat, and the cormorants are so fat and happy from the anchovies, or is it sardines? I think it's the sardines are in the water, right, this time of year. I love sardines, by the way. So they gag on them. In fact, the pelicans don't even have to dive for them. They just run their beaks along the water and scoop up the food. But don't tell anybody that's because there's global cooling in the bay right now, because that might break their omelet. And they could have another hearing about why we need to fund Ukraine to solve the global warming. Oh, by the way, Ukraine, whatever happened with that? Oh, you forgot it? I noticed in the white suburbs, they've all taken down their Ukraine posters and flags. Well, after the vermin in the government get through spending another $100 billion on weapons manufacturers, they'll come to terms with Zelensky, who will have the same fate as the sergeant at arms who said that the insurrection, quote unquote, at the Capitol on January 6th, whatever the year was conducted by outside agitators. You do know he died yesterday suddenly. How did that happen? I don't know. Gee, what a sudden death. Well, we can't say any more about it than that, other than may he rest in peace. And I see my pasta is almost done. I don't know if you're ever going to see this tape that I'm making, because I don't see any commentary. But folks, we are living in the saddest times in American history, under a senile, degenerate president, crime family, a crazy Speaker of the House. Whatever happened to Paul Pelosi and the drunk charge? Oh, I'm sorry, didn't ask. I guess the guy crashed into him also met the fate of the sergeant of arms. I hope not. But, it is America. And with Wolf Blitzer and Jake Tapper being the Soviet journalists, the Soviet spokesmouths that they are, anything is possible. I would say Jake Tapper is perhaps the lowest form of American journalism in American history, going back to the Victorian era. Jake Tapper has to take the cake. Jake, enjoy your cake, because you won't be eating it for long. So far as I know, there's going to be a tsunami in reverse. You're liable to go to prison for what you've done. But aside from that, I'm going to have my 5-spice chicken. Oh, look at that. See? Oh, man. Wow. See, I let it steam after frying it, sort of, at light speed, low speed. And my pasta is now al softo. I never eat my pasta al dente. That's bullshit. That's a fool's errand invented by American restaurant owners to get the idiots in and out of the restaurant as fast as possible. Your stomach can't take uncooked spaghetti any more than it can take uncooked fish, uncooked shrimp, uncooked sushi. Most American food is not even cooked, because most people don't know what the hell they're eating. Well, on that note, I'm going to lift my glass to the savage nation, and I'm going to make a particular, where are we? Here we are. So my podcast that came out today, I gave it my all, and let me tell you something. Hold on. I reached into my writings from the 60s, and I did his first abortion. Nobody has been as creative on this subject, nor as pathetically sad to show the effects on both the woman and the man of an abortion. Nobody's ever done it. I wrote it in 1967 in Queens, New York. It's on my podcast. Some people broke down in tears, according to those members of my Savage Nation exclusive club. They couldn't take it. They said it was too hard for them to even listen to. The others loved it. I opened up my heart, and you know what I got back? Next to nothing. You know why? America has died. There is no heart or soul left in this country. After the Kardashians have gotten through with women and turned them all into sock puppets, surgical sock puppets with the same faces, the surgical sock puppets that the Kardashians created in women, the airbrushed women, who all look like the houses that realtors are redoing in America, particularly in the San Francisco area. The genius realtors are stripping every house, ripping out every piece of grass, killing every tree, putting in fake lawns, painting the houses white and considering themselves geniuses because the market was rising exponentially for the last 2 years. They think they're geniuses. I hope they all lose their skirts. On that note, may America survive this. I don't know that it will. God bless America if God is still watching, but I think he left the theater. Good night now.